Hello and welcome to my WIP and Chat. WIP meaning work in progress, chat meaning I'm just chatting about things. I am putting some Randa's Crafty Corner into my multi-placer here and working on a diamond painting from the one with the diamond art. It is their one called Autumn. I'm using a Diamond Art Club pen with a glue dot inside. I'm also going to be just filling in the sections that I have the cover minders on from the experiment with putty that I did. I think, oh, and I'm also working on, I'm also using my Inferno Firefly tray. I'm loving this tray. How are you guys doing this week? I know I didn't record last week. I got the dates wrong for fall break, so I was not prepared to have my kids home for just over a week, but it worked out fine. I ended up working like 6 days, so I took advantage of the time that I had off to just hang out with the kids. And I purposely let content get behind because I miss them and I'm trying to still adjust to working. Also, we will talk a little bit about my nails because I bit them all off and they're looking pretty rough right now. This scent is the orange chiffon cake scented putty from the Randa's Crafty Corner. Oh my God, it smells so freaking good. This is like one of the first times I've ever been like, hey, I wish it smelled a little bit stronger. Like that's normally not my style. And then, oh, the release papers from Bee's Crafty Corner. I am getting so much reflection. I think I might have to actually bust out the light pad. This week has been pretty good, actually. It was nice to just kind of enjoy and relax with the family. I mean, how much could I really relax when I was working like 6 days a week? But I did what I could, and it was kind of nice to not worry about having to get up super early and let the kids wake me up at their leisure, like when they wake up, instead of me getting up for the alarm, making sure they had all their snacks and everything ready, and trying to hopefully stick to their morning schedule while being exhausted. I won't be working 6 days a week very often. I did finally get put on some sort of a schedule with both bars, which is such a relief. I was getting a little worried there that it would constantly be like that because I was scared to say no to shifts because you don't know if they would come again or if I would have consistent work, you know what I mean? So it was just so relieving to be able to go and look at the schedule and see that I'm on it consistently for like the next couple of months. So that is amazing. I will be 4 to 5 days a week, depending on which week, depending on football and what events. But that is better than not knowing at all and just at the whim of every day getting called in or wondering if I'm going to get called in and being kind of scared to make plans. You know what I mean? So that is amazing. And none of them are bartending shifts, which is fine with me because bartending shifts means closing shifts. And with serving, I might still end up working late, but I will a majority of the time not be closing, which I'm fine with. Lack of sleep gives me bad migraines. So this will kind of help keep my health in order too. Speaking about keeping health in order, I know I bit all of my nails off. They're looking a little rough right now. They won't forever. I am letting them grow back. I had I call it a mind lapse, to where I ran out of my stickers, which I use the Dashing Diva stickers on my nails, or I at least like to keep them painted with something just so that they could, you know, look pretty, because as soon as they don't look pretty, I bite them. Well, one of my stickers had peeled off and I noticed my nail was chipped. So I started like picking at the chipped nail, and then I was like, okay, I need to redo them. So I took off all the stickers and realized I was out of my, my Dashing Diva, and I realized another nail was cracked. So I started picking at that one, and then I went to open my sliding glass door and my dog rushed past me and pulled it kind of shut again, and it broke and ripped my thumbnail off. So it got super, super short. So I was like, all right, it's time. So I kind of started biting them because, you know, I had a chipped nail, I had a cracked nail, and then I had one nail ripped off. Not like all the way, that sounds awful, but like it like ripped. So I was like, do you know what? I'm done. I need to do something about it. So I clipped them all as short and stubby as they would go, because I was like, I am not going to make this a habit again, and I'm slowly letting them grow back just long enough so I can put stickers on it again. But now that I don't have any rough edges and I don't feel the chips or anything like that, it's so much easier to not bite. And then I need to start like dousing my hands and my nails in cuticle oil so they continue to be soft, because I realized that my skin is getting a little bit rough where they're trying to grow back where they were cut too short. But I could still tolerate that better than actually feeling a completely ripped, chipped grossness. It sucks being a nail biter. It does, because it's a habit I've had since longer than I can remember. Even my mom, she said when I was a toddler, she was still trying to pull my fingers out of my mouth. So, just come to accept it. And I've talked a few times how I was in a cooking slump, and then I think I'm getting out of it just a little bit. I made some creamy wild rice chicken soup. Like, it was like a wild rice mushroom chicken soup, and my family loved it so much that even my kids had thirds. Like, that is unheard of. Like, yeah, every once in a while they'll go for a seconds or kind of graze a little bit. They'll eat their meal, and then it's not like anything crazy. They ate practically enough. I thought I would have enough for leftovers so we could have it for like 2 days. That wasn't the case at all. My husband had thirds, my kids had thirds, I had seconds, my grandma had seconds. Hold on, let me change the battery. But oh my God, it was so good. I sent the recipe to the House of Miscellanea Discord, the one that Naomi runs. I love that Discord so much, and it is where I'm most active. But yeah, it was freaking phenomenal. I actually kind of want to make it again. And it says a lot because I've talked about my ham and cabbage soup a lot here. And you all know I love that soup. This was right up with that. Even my kids were like, can you make that again? So I might make it again. A couple weeks ago, I made a lasagna soup, and my kids really liked that. And so did my dog. He has never pulled like a pot or pan or anything off of the counter before, but something about that dish made him do that, and it was a shock to hear that pan come crashing down in my kitchen. So we all only had like a single bowl of that, and I had had enough for leftovers, so I had to stop him from eating it. And of course, I wasn't going to eat after the dog put his nasty tongue in there. I need a diamond paint. I didn't make a WIP last week, so I feel like just hanging out and chatting. Oof, I need to get with the program. But yeah, so I might make that again because the kids liked that and they wanted seconds, and I couldn't provide that for them. So I made like an extra Caesar salad to go with it. Well, after when they realized they couldn't have seconds. So it worked out, but kind of made me sad being like, oh, nope, sorry. And now we know that he will do that. And it was unfortunate. And luckily he didn't get too much of it. I don't like him to have too much human food because that'll upset his poor puppy tummy. And he always gets like treats and chews. Like, he is getting a significant amount of things other than just plain dog food. I will boil chicken every once in a while, cut it up and use it like as extra treats. My husband gets him a steak once a week to once every 2 weeks, depending, just like one of those cheap ones when the Walmart has the yellow sticker sale. They tend to do that pretty often with steaks there. So he gets his own steak grilled. It's not like seasoned or anything, but this dog gets a significant amount of good snacks. And then we also cut that up and use it up for like extra training. and stuff. Speaking of which, I need to tell my husband to grill him another steak because I want to reinforce some walking tips with him because he's getting a little antsy. I have been walking more with him because it's finally not 80, 85 degrees when we wake up. Like, it was a beautiful 76 degrees the other morning. And I was like, yes, I am walking him. And it was friggin' amazing. I absolutely love how my mornings are starting to turn out like cooler again. And how did I pull this out? And I'm just getting that feeling of wanting to walk more because it's finally starting to not be 110 degrees out. And a few weeks ago, I was like, I went on a walk. It's cooling down. I'm so excited. It's going to be a regular thing. Bah, bah, bah. And it didn't happen because it went right back up to 105 to 107. And then we got like 2 days of 109 degrees. And it was just unbearable. And I'm not going to put my dog through that. So it was back to spraying down the backyard for him to run around and get all muddy, which he loves, but I don't because it makes my floors not as pristine as I would like them. Although I have the hardest time with my floors because it's all tile. I hate carpet and I appreciate that I have tile, but it makes it hard because if there's any type of wind or if I have fans on, it's just like little tumbleweeds of Charlie coming out from under the couch. And I try to move my furniture once a week, sometimes twice a week, so that I could, get his little tumbleweeds. But it's almost impossible to keep up, especially when you have, 4 people in and out of the house, plus a dog that's in and out of the house 100 times a day. So it's just hard. And our backyard is dirt. Our front yard is dirt with some gravel. And, my husband has working boots and he's been doing an exterior. So it's just dirt and dust and there's nothing I could do about it. Even like if I do happen to throw the ball where I don't spray down the backyard for Charlie, like let's say it's later in the evening, the sun's like basically down and it's the last one of the day, I won't spray it down again and it's dry by the time I do that. So his running around just plumes of dust. It coats everything and I could dust like every other day and I feel like it doesn't matter. Like me and my grandma, we laugh and talk about it because her backyard is dust too. Obviously it's connected to our backyard because we have her in the guest house. And it doesn't matter. She can dust every day. And she's like, oh, look. And she'll draw little designs in the dust. the dust. And then we'll like make it a joke to where she'll spray something behind me as I wipe. And then I'll go behind her again. It's this cute little, going back behind each other. But yeah. So dust is just a part of our lives right now until we get another good rain. Hopefully soon. And then speaking of rain, I hope everyone is okay. I'm sending out thoughts and prayers for all of the hurricane stuff going on. It is terrifying and I can't even try to pretend to understand. Like I live in Arizona. I don't get tornadoes. I don't get hurricanes. I don't get earthquakes. I don't get any of those things. Like I might get a flash flood, which yes, can be terrifying. And I don't want to compare natural disasters. I just want to say I wish I could understand what you're going through. But what I can do is send positive prayer and vibes and everything your way. So if you guys know anybody, send some love, share some love, find somewhere to donate or find a way to help in any way that you can, whether it just be thoughtful, kind words, sometimes that is just enough. Keep everything in your thoughts and prayers if you pray, positive vibes, and just healing energy that way. Anyways, what was I saying before I got distracted with sad stuff? I owe a massive public apology. I have talked so much shit on pumpkin spice coffee drinkers. So much shit. I thought it was absolutely disgusting. I have said every year, year after year, I don't know how people would drink that. I don't know why people would drink that. It is disgusting. And let's start from the beginning of how I came to that awful conclusion of pumpkin spice anything being gross. I went to this cafe once to where they did from scratch pumpkin lattes with like actual pumpkin puree, and I think the puree was bad. And it was like one of my first times. I was young trying this and I was like thinking, oh, it's gotta be good. It's so popular. And I got it and it was just awful. And I think it was because the pumpkin was bad. And I never, not once, gave them a chance again. Like once you have slimy, rotten pumpkin go into your mouth from a coffee thing, it kind of ruins you for life. And I am so sorry for ruining it for you. But it gets better, I promise. I was shopping the other day and I like the flavored creamers for my coffee. And I thought I had grabbed a French vanilla one. And I didn't. I grabbed a pumpkin latte one and I didn't know. So sometimes my daughter, like if I work late and it's time for me to wake up, she'll be like, hey, are you waking up? And she'll surprise me with a coffee. Like she knows how I like my coffee. Well, I didn't know, once again, that I had gotten the French creamer. No, I thought I had the French creamer and it was the pumpkin. So when she brought me my coffee, I took a sip and it was this most pleasant, amazing tasting pumpkin pie-esque flavor with the coffee that I've ever had. Like it was delicious. And that's how I come to decide I owe a public apology to those who I said, ew, why would you drink that too? So that is my now formal public apology of judging you, your drinking stuff. Like I can't say it enough. I am sorry, and I think I've been converted. Now, do I think I would try it again from an actual company? No, I'm still a pansy and scared of that. But I can accept that I could buy the pumpkin flavored stuff from the grocery store with the date the farthest away so I can make sure it's the freshest it can be. Yes, I will do that again. And it's amazing. So freaking good. She even drizzled the bottom of it with caramel because my little girl is fancy. And her love language, or the way she shows she cares, is like she likes to do acts of kindness. And it's just her way of saying, hey, I'm thinking of you. So every once in a while, we'll wake up to coffee being made or her trying to make breakfast because she knows how to make breakfast. Now, my son, it's like it's physical. So he'll come up and just like rub your back for a little bit and then tell you how his day is going while rubbing your back, or just giving you a hug and telling you about his day. And it's just so cute to seeing their own little ways of like growing up. Like it's just amazing to watch. But that's not what this is about. And I think I talked a little bit about my work schedule already, but yeah, so I will be on 4 days a week and then I will be on call 1 day a week. So there's a potential for me to work 5 days a week, which I'm fine with. It's better to know a little bit more. Now, sometimes they might switch around depending on like how football goes or what events we go, but it's nice to have like a baseline to know a little bit of what I will be working. So now I need to really sit down and do a realistic schedule for me. Now, I'm an overworker, an overachiever, if you say, but I need to find a way to put a realistic schedule and actual boundaries on myself, because YouTube is time consuming, and I've talked about this a couple times. And also work is obviously time consuming. Diamond painting is time consuming. So I do know I'm going to keep my What's Up shop schedule. I mean, that'll be every Wednesday. Now, if I don't get emails on specific weeks and I don't really have time to come across anything or hunt stuff down, I may not do a post of What's Up shop. But guaranteed, every time I get an email, there will be a What's Up shop on Wednesdays, no matter what. Also, with the WIP and Chats, if I have stuff to talk about and I have time to film a WIP and Chat, I 100% will. See, I wish I had the catered tray mix right now because it's so little but confetti heavy. But yeah, so I know that, and I'm still going to be posting 3 to 4 days a week, but I realistically am not going to break my back to get content out as rigidly as I was hoping, because now that I have 2 jobs, I'm officially on the schedule and stuff like that. I don't know if I can keep up with 4 videos a week. But I will still consistently post. I will still have my What's Up shop, and if I get new stuff, I will unbox it. Speaking of which, I have some exciting unboxings coming your way within the next, I think, few weeks. I have some stuff being sent my way, and I'm going to be working with some companies. I am so freaking excited. I don't think you understand how excited I am. So keep an eye out for that. You guys already know I'm working with Captured by Radiance. I can officially say that she has bagged some new artists and some new releases are coming your way, and I'm so freaking excited for those videos to come out. I'm stoked. And I'm just in awe of the Captured by Radiance quality. Oh my God, it's so good. And then I guess I don't know. Should I keep the other one a surprise? I think I'm going to keep the other one a surprise. I do have another canvas coming from another company that I am just as excited to see, like, what the quality is going to be like. But yes, keep an eye out for that. And I just have to remember, I jumped into this YouTube thing as a hobby. And sometimes I have a hard time keeping hobbies. Like, I dive so deep into them. I just want to be one with the hobby. And I can't do that with diamond painting because, well, I have real life too. So we're going to practice, I think, just as a reminder to myself and those of you that have a hard time with time management, to practice some time management skills. I have to, I think, this week put together some sort of schedule so I don't overdo it some. And if I happen to have 4 videos that week, I happen to have 4 videos. But either way, you'll have 2 for sure. And then possibly 3 to 4 just based on what I get. And I'm thrilled for that because I have time blindness. Like, if I don't have alarms, timers, and all of that set, I could lose track of time so easily, and then I'll realize my whole day is gone, and I might have had planned for, a 2-hour brainstorming thing that I have to do, or I had planned to map out 6 to 7 videos for the next week's coming, and I will start diamond painting and be like, no, I'm going to do it in like an hour. And then I never get to it because I get so lost into the actual physical activity of diamond painting. So what I think I'm going to do to start practicing that is not diamond paint or read or do anything until I have my priorities done. Like, I'll prioritize things that I have to do first thing in the morning, and then I can do my fun stuff. And my fun stuff meaning sitting down to diamond paint. Because how could I get anything done if I have no plan, right? Like, I'm working on my time blindness, and it's just been a huge focal point for me recently of realizing how much time I don't put towards something effective in my life. You know what I mean? I could start the dishes, get halfway through the dishes, realize I need to do the floor, start sweeping, not get done with the dishes, then I have one room swept, and then I have laundry folding in the other room, and I'm trying to do all 3 at the same time, which takes 20 billion times longer than it would take to do anything else. Does anybody else do this? Or I'll get distracted and be like, oh, I'm going to watch this content, and then I comment as I watch, and I'll not do anything else. I'll just sit there and comment on every first thought that comes to my mind. So what I was thinking is, while I'm folding laundry, I'm only allowed to fold laundry until all of it's done, put headphones in, and listen, and kind of whatever are still in my forethoughts, do one long comment at the end. But I doubt I'll be able to stick to that, but it's something I'm gonna try this week because my time management has been just shit. And I used to not be so bad at it, but I've let a lot of practices that I've tried to do, because I've worked on it before, fall between my fingers because I think, oh, I got this under control. And then slowly it deteriorates over time. Like I was so rigid about walking every day and then it got too hot. I'm so ready. Like it was the perfect way to unplug, mull about my day, figure out what I needed to do. And it kind of just grounded me. And I'm so ready for that to come back. We did walks the other day and it was fantastic. Like multiple walks just because it was so nice out. And then we even had a park day with the kids and a play day. Oh, it was so much fun. This trying to finish sections kind of sucks because it leaves so much confetti. I don't know how or why it ended up being so much. But also, the one with the diamond art, this one I don't believe was hand charted, so it just has a ton of confetti. So I'm starting to see the need for finding a way to kit up in trays, but also, how many colors are in here? I would need to buy 48 trays, so 50 trays, and then I do know some canvases have more than that, so I don't know. Maybe I could just deal with it, or I'm just not used to not hand-charted stuff. I don't know. Or I'm used to hand-charted canvases more than these, although I do think in some ways the computer-generated is prettier because the transitions sometimes aren't so harsh. Does that make sense? Like this has so much detail in it. Like, do you lose some detail if you hand chart, or do they just make other details pop more and take away from other ones so it looks like a crisper transition? Does that make sense? Like, I'm still learning about all of that, but I guess that's a question. Do you think computer-generated stuff holds as much detail or sometimes more detail than hand-charted? And do you think that hand-charted stuff sometimes takes away from detail in other spots to add detail in more focal points? Does that make sense? I kind of want to know. Because I feel like the confetti is a majority in this piece, especially in the background. But I am starting to really see the difference. And that was the two I have there. It's hard to do a whip and chat with all this confetti. I like it. I do. I like it. Do you guys have tips and tricks for working on confetti? Ooh, maybe I can watch a few videos of people doing high confetti kits and what their tips and tricks are, and then rate them to see which one worked best for me. Or maybe I'm just overexcited to make a video today because I didn't record at all last week, except for my What's Up shop. Okay, let's talk about shows and TV and stuff. Oh my god, I'm so excited. So I finally finished all 27 seasons of Ghost Adventures. Like, it was a ride, and I could definitely see all the differences like Zach took throughout the whole show. Man, is he totally different than from when he first started. And then that leads me into starting House Calls, because you know, they're different ones, and I finished that too. And I don't think I liked the house calls as much as Ghost Adventures. Like, it felt just more invasive, but it was kind of cool to see them interact with other people and know, like, have like little checkups of like, hey, since we did this, this is what's happened with them, and this is what they've experienced or not experiencing anymore. Like, that part was cool. But at the same time, some of them just felt too intrusive. It was like, should this really be on national TV? Like, no, a little uncomfortable. And Zach could be super freaking awkward. And another thing is like, Zach's not even there. He is in Vegas, like, at home, not even fully a part of the investigation, but he's the one to like be in charge of it. But it was nice also to see Aaron be way more involved and take more of a lead to it too. So I don't know, I have conflicting feelings. Like, I liked it, but not as much as actual Ghost Adventures. I'm gonna see what the other seasons and stuff have to offer, or I might just watch Ghost Hunters and compare like ghost shows now. And I plan on continuing this Ghost Adventure or Ghosties thing for a while. I'm really enjoying it. I enjoy paranormal stuff. And then that leads me into the paranormal stuff. I have been rewatching Supernatural, and I forgot how much I freaking love the beginning seasons of this show. I am almost into season 2 now, and it's just I love these brothers so much. Now, do I think the show gets a little ridiculous towards the end? 100% yes. But I think that's every show nowadays, to where they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until they have no choice but to end it. And I think it gets absolutely ridiculous from like the first generated idea of what they are, what it is, their dynamic, to what it turns into, which is absolutely insane. But I am just sucked right in, and I'm also seeing like new little details and noticing new little things, and I absolutely freaking adore it. So it's kind of nice to get those nostalgic, like, also feelings from it, because I made my husband watch every single episode through every single season with me, and it's just like making me remember those little date nights. I call them date nights. It's every night that we sit down and watch at least one episode of something together and just spend some quality time together, and, you know, just that togetherness. And yeah, he was like, I don't know if I could do Supernatural again, babe. So it's kind of turned into we watch a little bit of Ghost Adventures together, and then when he inevitably falls asleep on the couch, I'll put like an episode of Supernatural on. Or if the kids are doing their own thing, I'll diamond paint for like an hour and watch a show then. And it's been so nice. Like, I don't know why I never really rewatched stuff, or like I've talked a little bit about my books, how I don't really reread, or I didn't really. This is the year of rereading and rewatching stuff, and revisiting is what I'm calling it too. And it's opened my world up. Like, you can notice so many more new details to something the second or even the third time you watch or read something. And speaking of reading, I am already almost done with the Zodiac Academy series. So I reread the Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, and then I jumped into Zodiac Academy. I'm on book 7 or 8 now, and there's only 9 books in the series. I'm not rereading the little books in between because I don't think they're needed, and it's actually making me enjoy the series so much more this second time around than I did the first time. The first time, I thought it was so drawn out, it was just unnecessary. But I was also reading all of the in-between books. Like, it's a 9-book series, but they turned it into something like 15 for all of the little add-ons that they had. So I'm just doing the main books. And then afterwards, I may read a few of the in-between just as like a fun ha-ha. But I think that was my mistake the first time around, was just not doing it. So technically, I think this is my 3rd time reading the series. The first time, the series wasn't done. And then I waited for the last couple books to come out, or the last book to come out. And then I reread them all, including the ones in between, which was a drag, because like I said, I don't think they're necessary, just to see what the final book was about. And then I read the final book. And then I'm restarting the whole world again. And this 3rd time, I am loving it so much more because I'm skipping all the bullshit in between. So yeah, skipping all the bullshit in between has been very enjoyable to me. So now I know. And then I need to wait to do the last series, which is the Darkmoor Penitentiary in this world, because I need to buy some credits. I have the physical books, but the physical books take my time away from diamond painting, and I was just talking about time management, and I need to find a way to do things that I could also be able to do other things. So while I listen to books, I can diamond paint, I can do dishes, I can fold laundry, I can drive, and it just makes it so that I'm able to get my fulfill of story in, because I crave stories. I love storyline, I love story structure, I love everything about it, while being able to do life. Does that make sense? I hope so. And then I did finally de-stash something. I de-stashed a Diamond Art Club painting, which made it possible for me to afford a new pen. I still need to talk to Naomi about it. but I want to talk to her about what to do for my pen. I'm ordering a intention pen from House of Miscellanea, and I'm freaking stoked. I have talked to her a few times about like stones and what I'm learning, and it's not as involved in the YouTube as I thought it was going to be. It's more of just like a personal I want to know, and like I said before, the gems and the woo-woo and learning more about the herbs and stuff and just the power that they could hold within is amazing to me. Like, I want to know any and all about it, but it's also her thing, and I want to be her pupil. And she said I'm on the right track to some things, and I've just been learning so much about like protection and the qualities that they could hold and the powers and the vibrations and stuff. So now I kind of want to talk to her, like our next conversation. Oh, my brain. I'm so excited to see you guys, or not see you guys. Whatever. Our next conversation is going to be like, oh, well, what are you looking for, you know, in this pen? And then I can kind of come up with like a few ideas of what stuff. I mean, obviously it's not going to be exact what she's going to do, but I'm just going to come up with like ideas and stuff, and she can tell me if I'm on the right track. But I am giving her full freedom to do what she does best. And I'm freaking stoked to see what she comes up with, because I think it's a beautiful thing that she's offering, and I'm freaking so excited. You guys know I have wanted one of these pens for so stinking long. Since she even pitched the idea, I've wanted one. Even since she started saying, hey, I want to make pens, I've wanted one from her, and I want to support her in any way that I can, and destashing that Diamond Art Club kit made it possible. So that got me thinking, like, what kits do I really just not see myself jumping for joy to do? So I might destash more. I haven't fully decided yet, but I have an idea on the ones that I could destash so that I could order more from other companies to try out, because it was part of my whirlwind of FOMO stage that I do have a few kits. Like, I love all of the kits that I got. Don't get me wrong. They are beautiful, but do some of them not speak to my soul as much as they used to? Yes. So I think there's a couple that I might be able to destash so that I can get my must-haves. Like, there's the one from Lazy River Crafts that I really want to do from Alexia Gillinardo. So there's going to be an Alexia Gillinardo paint-along, which is from Lazy River Crafts, like the canvases, and the artist is Alexia Gillinardo. And there's a painting that I want so bad. Well, actually, there's quite a few from this artist that I want to do, but like, that's a must-have. Like, I must have that to be able to participate in that paint-along. And it's also one of my little bucket list things. Like, I want to do a paint-along for a specific artist, and just something that I want to be able to be a part of. You know, I love the events. I love things like that. And I really enjoy her art too. So like, that's a must-have. I also want to try more companies. Like, I want to try Fallon Gems. I want to try Bella Art de Nicole. I want to get one from Enabler's Outpost. Like, there's so many more out there. And my stash is a majority of Diamond Art Club. And I don't know, I just want to venture out more. Like, I already know the quality. I already know what they're pushing out. I want to feed my curiosity. So I might just destash quite a few, I mean, not quite a few, maybe like 2 or 3 more, just to make it possible so I can have my must-haves and maybe try a new company. Because I want to do a video comparing some stuff from Fallon Gems and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. That's just some of my thought process right now of how could I do this without dipping into the income I am bringing home in a responsible way. Like, I feel like sometimes, just as a creator, you know, my dreams or what I want to show on my channel are bigger than my wallet. But I also am not going to ever be like, hey guys, give me money so that I can go buy this to show you. Like, that just doesn't feel right to me. Or to put my family in a situation to where it's like, I spent above my means and then have buyer's remorse. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want, one, I don't want to promote that. Two, I'm not going to feed into that. Like, I'm a creator because I enjoy finding things to create things about, but I also only want to do it responsibly. And I've seen that a little bit, and I don't think it's like an intentional thing or something that they realize that they're doing that, I don't know, some might not like. And that's just not something I want to participate in. So I'm trying to find ways to do this and try as many as I can while also responsibly spending. Does that make sense? I might do that to break my no buy. And it's nice to see things kind of coming together and seeing the fruits of my labor. Like going from no jobs to 2 jobs to practically 3 is, one, a huge jump. 2, kind of exhausting, and 3, friggin' exciting. Like, I'm finally seeing the end of the tunnel of, like, this is really paying off. All of this change is really paying off. I forgot to put the diamonds away. Though, one thing we are going to have to splurge on is some security cameras, because we have a building on our property that we run our business out of, and unfortunately, some riffraff is finding their way up into our neighborhood and stole our ladders. So we are officially saving so we can get some new security cameras, and I want floodlights, like motion floodlights, so that if somebody walks up onto our property, like it lights up. I want it so bright it lights up the neighborhood. One, we have no street lights or anything like that, which already kind of sucks and makes it so, like, even if we get deliveries at night, like they were saying, I was talking to someone that delivers to over here, and they were like, just this neighborhood's so difficult because you can't see anything. You can't see the addresses. You can't see anything. Even if someone leaves their porch light on, it doesn't really make much of a difference. So, especially since our ladders were stolen, we want security cameras, which they even cut the chains that were like securing our ladders. So my husband had to build this thing. I don't know what it's called. He has terms. A rack, I think it's called, but it's like, it has a special thing, like a ladder rack for the roof of the shop to put our ladders up there. So we have to purchase new ladders. Luckily, he still had a ladder connected to his truck, but he has different sizes for different projects. You know what I mean? We have outside ladders, we have indoor ladders, because we do interiors and exteriors. He doesn't like bringing like the outside ladders into the inside, so he's not dragging in unnecessary dust and stuff, and they look nicer, and sometimes you just want nicer looking equipment to go into people's homes, and the outside stuff is the outside stuff. Like, he takes all of that into consideration, so that kind of sucks, but you know, it is what it is. Lesson learned. And that's kind of just the risk in general for running a business out of your own personal property. God, the magnet on this one's from Captured by Radiance. The magnet on it is so strong. I wish they were all this strong, because the other ones just kind of float around. But yeah, no, I waited a couple weeks to talk about it because it was just frustrating, and you feel a little violated when you get robbed, especially from your personal property. So I haven't talked about it much, but that is something we're also dealing with. We do have one company's cameras. We tried them out. We don't really like those security cameras, so we are going to be switching brands, because the other ones, they just seemed kind of finicky. Granted, they were used and they were a gift, and we knew they might not be perfect. So we tried them, decided they aren't for us. So we're saving for something that we can get that's new and we know will work for us. And my husband got me a bunch of hot sauces. I'm so freaking excited, and I like all of them. They're called Melinda's, and he just got them from, I think Walmart sells them, but he was at Whole Foods, and because we like the rotisserie chickens, and they also sell little pizzas too that are cheaper than an actual, like, going out to buy pizza. And they're stone cooked. Anyways, before I got distracted about pizza, the Melinda's hot sauce, like he got all of the flavors that they had there in like the sample sizes, and oh my god, it was so good. Then we found one that we really like, and it's like the black garlic truffle or black truffle garlic one. It's so good, and he found it at Walmart, so he got us a big jar of that. And hot sauces are basically my love language. Like everyone in this family and his family knows, like hot sauces are the way to my heart. So that was just like a nice little like, hey, I love you, here's some hot sauce. And yes, it made me friggin' happy. Does anybody else like hot sauces like that? I'm just a condiments gal too. Like I love my ketchup, mayo, ranch, barbecue sauce. Like my dipping sauces are life. My mom is the same way. So same as my grandma and my daughter. Oh my god, she takes after me so much. Our son, he is more like my husband. Very much like meat, potatoes. It comes as is. You don't need all the extra frilly stuff. Which is funny because when me and my husband first got together, he didn't have like condiments. He had like the traditional ketchup, mustard, and basically that was it. And I was like, oh, this is not going to work for me. How do you not have different hot sauces for different types of food? So now I got him whipped up into shape. He absolutely loves his sauces now, and he goes out of his way to try different sauces now, and it totally just makes me smile. I'm like, yes, I took you under my wing and you are experiencing the fruits of this land. No, I'm just kidding. But he absolutely has changed his eating habits from that. And now he's like, I want to try this. I want to try that. Same goes for like sushi. He was like, I don't think I would like that. And now I think he likes sushi more than I do. Our daughter is obsessed with sushi, so that's not even a question. She probably likes it the most out of the whole family, and I thought I was obsessed with sushi before. Nope, has nothing on that kid. She could live on it for the rest of her life and be completely satisfied and fine. But yeah, the Melinda's honey mustard habanero flavor, it's called. So good. I really want to do like a pork loin with it, but I would have to do like 2 separate pork loins because my son doesn't really like spicy. So I would have to like do his own like mustard one, but I think I could pull something like that off because it's so good. And speaking of hot sauces, at one of the bars that I work at, they have a mango habanero wing sauce. Oh my god. It is so good. So spicy and so worth it. My son even was like, oh, this is good. He like woke up at like 5 in the morning and was eating them. And my husband was like, hey, those are really hot. Like, I don't think you're going to like them, buddy, because, you know, he's like, no, I like it. And then afterwards he was like, well, they were too spicy, but they were good. He was telling me about it, like when I finally woke up. It was cute though. He's like, I won't eat them again though. I think he got through 1 wing. My husband was like, okay, and he was right there and he put together like some milk and stuff. He was like, I don't think this is gonna be good for your tummy, buddy. Like, it was cute. He was telling me how excited he was. My daughter loved the wings, so there's that. I mean, that's not a surprise at all. The girl can go through a whole bottle of Red Devil in like a day. So I actually have to remind her daily to not drink hot sauce. I'm like, that's not good for your stomach. We're gonna set some boundaries, okay? I even have to set boundaries with myself too. I'm like, no, you can't do that every day. Is anybody else like that? All right, my beautiful sparkle butts. I think I'm going to leave this here because, well, I don't have anything else to really talk about. So that is pretty much how my last week went. I didn't make a WIP and Chat. Just enjoyed my family. And I'm trying to think realistically of what I can do versus what I want to do. And then prioritize from there. There might be some schedule changes now that I have more of a schedule and know what I'm getting into. And I have to stop, like, I say this all the time, killing myself for the sake of just making content when it's just a hobby. I enjoy this too, and I don't want you guys to feel like this is rushed or whatnot. Like, this is just something I enjoy doing, so I'm going to go back to taking that stance, and it's not a job, even though I want to treat it like a job. So that's just kind of where I'm at in life. This one was just a bit rambly, and it just felt good to chat, and talk. So I will see you on the next one, and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.